Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. I would like to thank everybody for coming. I did meet with all the 8th graders today, so they've went over a lot of this stuff already. And just so you know, we wanted all the parents to come because we wanted you to know kind of what we're doing with the iPads a little bit, some of the education we've given them as far as digital citizenship. We've really concentrated on that the last quarter last year and all year so far this year. So your students have a very good idea of what is good digital citizenship. Obviously we have a responsible use policy that everybody's filled out. We'll review that a little bit tonight. Mr. Evertson will go over some more of the kind of how that works and everything that's in that. As far as our school rules go, and I talked to your students about this today, they will stay the same. And I will tell you what I told them. I said, our 8th graders have done an awesome job this year, not just with iPads. They have done a great job with iPads. Very few discipline referrals as far as them not using them appropriately. So everybody's done a great job, and I thought now was a great time to get the iPad in the student's hand, not only here at school where they're doing all their schoolwork, but also at home where they can extend their schoolwork and maybe at home and do other things on that as well that they may want to do just hopefully get them learning outside the walls of school a little bit more. There's lots of different neat things you can do on an iPad, and that stuff, other than their schoolwork, it would be up to the parents as far as what you want to allow. So, and we'll give you some kind of tips, Mrs. Wolf will, on kind of things that, would be good for parent-student relationships as far as devices, because we've, as a school district, really focused on that with all the things out there. Our digital citizenship piece is very important for our students to know what's appropriate, when to use things, how to use it, and I think they do have a very good understanding of that. So it's time for them to start using them outside the walls of school. So thanks again for coming for that. Basically what I told our students is, at school our rules don't change. At school you use it for schoolwork. One of the things I don't let them do in middle school, I don't let them listen to music. I don't let them do social networking at school, emailing other students, or communicating that way, or gaming. Now, I'm not saying that they don't from time to time. Sometimes I do give them a game day on Friday, not very often. But they will mostly do their schoolwork here, and then outside of school, they said, well, can we do that at home? Yeah, you can do whatever you want that's appropriate and your parents want you to do when you're at home. And I My daughter's only 4.5, but I'm envisioning her in middle school saying when she gets home, yes, you do your schoolwork first. You can have so much time to do some games or whatever, so much time to do this. I mean, I don't know. That will be your parent choice. So you can, there's lots of decisions that as a parent you will make as far as how long you want them on it and stuff like that. A couple things I did tell the students is you'll be taking them home, so you'll be bringing them to school. Our rule at school right now is you cannot use your device in the morning. I want them socializing, interacting with other students on face-to-face, talking to them actually, not sitting beside them, emailing them or whatever, or texting, like they do sometimes with their phones anyway. But we won't use them in the morning, and we still won't use them at lunch, because I think that time's still important for our students to interact with each other that way. But that's kind of my rules, and basically if they get their iPad taken the first time, it's one day that I take it, the second time it's 2, and the third time it's a week. So those rules will still apply, and I don't think we have hardly any of the 8th graders that have even been past first offense, so that's great. And that's about all I have. I do thank you for coming, and these guys will give you a little bit more information on some of the things we're doing with our technology and how we've kind of got these iPads rolled out to the middle schools.
Good evening. I'm Dave Evertson. I'm the Technology Director here in COZED, and this is Patty Wolf, our Technology Integration Director. We kind of team up on using technology for education purposes. We just wanted to spell out some of the details about why you're here tonight and how this is going to work from here on out. We just implemented the iPads for the first time in the middle school this year, and Mr. Regland correctly felt he wanted to make sure things went smoothly before we started doing the take-home like the high school kids do. So 8th graders, you're kind of on trial here. You've done a great job so far. Keep it up. So next year, we can expand that program again. Now, we're halfway through the year, so the way that it normally works and the way it's going to work for you next year as freshmen is, first of all, we have a summer take-home program. So I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to have to, if you want to take your iPad home for the summer, you're going to have to attend another meeting. There's one every year. That'll be the high school meeting. It'll be very similar to this. It won't take very long. And then we pay the fee every year. It's typically $35. The $35 fee, what that does is it allows us to not buy a warranty for the iPad. The warranty for the iPad's $150. The iPad itself is $400. So you buy an iPad, you pay $150 for the extended warranty. Apple will fix it once for you for $50, and then only one other time for another $50. So if you break your iPad twice, we will have paid, $500 for an iPad to get repaired twice. We can do better. So what we do is we charge $35 and we fix your iPad. Assuming it was an accident, we fix your iPad the first time for free every year. Now we have lots of kids who never have a repair, but we have some kids who have accidents. So if you break your iPad from here until the end of the year because you paid your $15, we didn't want to charge the whole $35 because it's not a full year. As long as you paid your $15, we're going to repair that for you. Unless you were just being dumb. You're probably not going to water ski with it, right? Especially this time of year. Be smart, but accidents happen. The second time you break it, hopefully there wouldn't be a second time, but the second time you break it, this is at the discretion of Mr. Regland, it's a $100 deductible. So you get one free break. The second time we'll repair it for $100. The third time, well, Mr. Regland's not going to be very happy with you. You're going to have to listen to that, and you're going to have to pay $200. Okay? So take good care of them. We put them in good cases. The cases protect them, but they're not indestructible. So you got to take good care of them. And a couple of reminders, don't leave them in the car overnight when it's real cold or real hot. Don't prop your bed up on it. Don't play with your dog with it like a frisbee, that sort of thing. Okay? Now, beyond that, there's a couple of things you have to understand. We hold you to the same standard at home in terms of your responsible use of digital media that we do at school. Now, we can't go to your house and yell at you. That's your mom and dad's job. But you do need rules. You're only middle schoolers after all, and you're going to do dumb things, just like I did when I was a middle schooler. So mom and dad, you need to have some rules. And Mrs. Wolf's going to talk about a sample contract that we have that you're welcome to use with your child. You can have you can sign it, your child can sign it. I would very certainly put some ground rules in place. That iPad is free for mom or dad to look through at any time. Okay? And if your student has put a passcode on it, which they should, they have to share that passcode with you. And if at any time that becomes an issue for you at home, if your child is not willing to live by your rules, the iPad does not have to go home. Just let us know. We'll take care of it for you. Okay? But you do need to have rules and boundaries in place. At the school, we filter the internet. We keep the baddest bad stuff out. It's blocked. You can't get porn here at school through our internet connection, and you can't get abusive stuff. You can't get bad language stuff. A few things slip through. Nothing's perfect, but for the most part, it does a pretty good job. But we don't use our filter to babysit. We don't block a lot of things that other schools block just because they don't want a kid playing a game or something like that. We expect the kids and the teachers to be responsible for that. At home, you probably don't have a filter. And if you don't have a filter at home and your iPad connects to your wireless internet, your student, unsupervised, will be able to go to bad places and do bad things. So you do need to supervise that. I've heard lots of rules. You can use your iPad at home. It has to be at the kitchen table or in the living room. You have to turn it in to me at 9 p.m. I'm free to look at it at any time that I want. And you got to check. Okay, that's your job. That's the sort of thing we do here at the school. Okay, so do you have any questions so far? Okay, other than your homework, we also encourage you to use your iPad for fun, okay? And involve your family. You guys show your folks how to do it. In a few minutes, we're going to sign our papers, and that's the first time you're going to show your parents how you use the iPad and e-backpack, okay? What am I forgetting? Oh, yeah. And then also, I'm not going to read it to you, but take a look at that responsible use policy. All of these documents are available on the school website through iPad Central. It's down towards the bottom of the page. So you can get all these documents there anytime, 24/7. The responsible use agreement basically says you're going to use your device responsibly. If you're going to bully somebody else, if you're going to use bad language in conversation with somebody else, if you're going to try to hack things, if you're going to post things that you shouldn't post, we don't care if you did that with your iPad or mom's iPhone or your own computer. We're not going to try to figure it out, but you're going to lose your iPad take-home privileges, because it is a privilege. Okay, so keep that in mind. You hold yourself to the same standard everywhere you go as a digital citizen as we do hold you here at school. Okay, so make sure that you understand that. All right, now we're going to, what? Oh, so kids, right now, open up your e-backpack. This program, e-backpack, is a service that we pay for here at the school so that we can send documents to and from students. Students can hand them in, teachers can hand them out. We don't need to use paper. Okay, so you guys go to your e-backpack and open up middle school tech maintenance. Make sure you're showing mom and dad how you do that. Okay, what you want is that 8th grade take home. Okay, and what needs to be signed by your parents is the 24/7. Nope.
Second.
Oh, the second one, mobile device loan agreement. That's what it is. Okay. Now you can mark on this write-in notability. Is that what we're going to do? Or we're going to use? You can use Notability or you can use eBackpack if you know the difference between those. Go ahead and show your folks. Every student also has an app called Notability, and that Notability app lets you open up PDF documents and write on them as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill these forms out right on the iPad. Then we're going to submit them right on the iPad. So your signed form is going to be handed in using the iPad instead of having to pass paper. So up at the top, you're going to either type in, you can use the cursor and type in, or you can just write in your name using your finger. Put in your last name, your first name. Of course, everybody in here is going to be grade 8. And then we need the student to sign, and we need the parent to sign, and put the date, please. Basically, this agreement is just telling you that we're loaning you a school iPad. We want you to feel like it's yours. We want you to use it like yours, but the school is providing this device. And if you leave, go to another school, you're going to turn all of that equipment in good working order. And that you're also going to agree to follow the acceptable use or responsible use agreement. Now at the bottom, there's a media release form. I'm sure we had a lawyer talk to us at one time and say we should do this. And it may be very important to you. It's become less important in the recent past, but at one time there was an issue of associating a student's name with their picture for safety reasons. And it's less of an issue the older you get, but there are bad people out there. So what we do when we publish pictures of students on our websites is we don't hook names to the students when we can do that. However, if you have a team that went somewhere and did something really cool, we might have a picture of them with the names of all the kids on there. Okay? So once in a while we'll have names associated with the student, and what we're saying here is if you choose option 1, what we're saying is that you agree to allow your child to be in photographs and or videos used by COSED community schools. Okay, if you choose option 2, then you really don't want your child to be in any pictures or videos that will be made public. So we give you that option. Okay, so once that's all completed, you can go ahead and turn that in, guys. If you're in Notability, you have to open it again in eBackpack. Then find your class again, middle school technology maintenance, and upload. And parents, this is, your students do this every day for the most part. They have lots of classes where they do this in, so it should be pretty simple for them. Okay, I think that's the extent of the paperwork. I'm going to let Patty talk to you a little bit about digital citizenship. This is a very important topic. We don't mean to keep you here too long, but our kids do need this education, and we need your help in doing it. So thanks a lot.
Hi, as Dave said, my name's Patty Wolf, and I'm Tech Integration Coordinator here for the schools. And one thing on our website, we leave this up all the time, that's the iPad Central Dave was talking about, Mr. Robertson was talking about, and it has all our forms, some Q&A files, and so forth. Students, after you've turned in that form, I want you to go back to eBackpack. And in that folder, there are 2 other documents. Now, these documents do not have to be signed and turned back into us, but there is a 24/7 iPad agreement form, and this might help answer some questions. It has parent responsibilities and it has student responsibilities. One thing that Mr. Ragland didn't mention, students, one of your main responsibilities is to charge your iPad every night. Okay, you're going to have it home now. You're not going to bring your charger back to school each day. You need to make sure every night it's plugged in, charged, ready to go the next day. And you also need to make sure you bring it every day. Okay, if it gets to be habitual that it's being left at home and mom and dad are having to run it up here by 9 o'clock, then they might rethink you taking it home every night. So that's one of your responsibilities. The other form is called Parent-Student Social Media Contract. And if you'll open that one up. This does not have to be signed and turned back into us, but I would hope tonight or sometime this week that you and a parent would sit down and look at this social media contract and come up with an agreement between the two of you. Are all 8th graders 13? Pretty much, I mean, right on the line, 13? Okay, most of you are turning 13. Most of your social media accounts, such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of them have an age 13 requirement. And I'm always amazed at how many students under the age of 13 already have those accounts. And the reason there's an age requirement is because it's a privacy issue. And we work really hard here at the school teaching how to effectively use social media. Now, we don't do that in middle school because most of them aren't 13 yet, and they really shouldn't have social media accounts. But as 8th graders, you're starting to turn 13, and you're going to want a Facebook account or a Twitter account or an Instagram account, and that has to be mom and dad's decision. A couple words of advice that I have working with students and parents with social media. I think social media is very important. I don't know if any of you parents follow our school social media, but we get a lot more information out to the public through Facebook than probably our website. We get more information out to our high school students through Twitter than we do our school website or email. So it becomes really important. But the one thing that I need to say to parents is you need to understand what social media is. You need to understand what Facebook is, what Twitter is, what Snapchat is. And it's just kind of like you probably wouldn't let your kid go spend the evening doing something if you didn't know where they were going, you didn't know who they were with, and you didn't know who was responsible for it. Social media is the same way. You have got to get involved and have them show you what they're doing on Instagram. Have them show you their tweets. Have them show you their Facebook status if you're letting them use social media. It's your decision as a parent. There is no class that's going to require your kids that they have to have social media. Now, we do have some classes at the high school that use it, but if a parent chooses not for that student to have that account, then we use, we come up with other options. So, parents, please get involved in that. My rule would be as a parent of a teenager right now, if you're on Facebook, I'm your friend. If you're on Twitter, I'm your follower. If you're on Vine, I'm your follower. Okay, just a quick story here. I have a niece who's very against social media with her 13-year-old daughter. She won't let her have Facebook, won't let her have Twitter, none of that. At Christmas, I was watching her and she has Snapchat. And I was like, why do you let her have Snapchat? Well, it's not social media. Snapchat is social media. Snapchat is probably the worst social media that your child could have. And so, it was because my niece was not informed. She didn't take the time to go see what these are. So please have your kids show you. Have them show you what apps are on their iPad. Okay? If they won't let you onto their email or their social media sites or something, then, that's where the boundaries and the rules will have to come in. So I think this contract that we took it from Common Sense Media and added some stuff to it. I think it's a good starting point. Social media is going to be important in your child's life. Colleges are using it now to look at applicants. Employers are using it to look at applicants. So it's important that they have a positive online presence. And they need to make that positive online presence for themselves. So we're working really hard here at the school. It's a big part of my job, is to help your children do that. So, but the bottom line is you're the parents. It's your rules. So like Mr. Evertson said, you can look at that iPad anytime you want to look at that iPad. You can put boundaries on it. Okay, the only thing you probably can't do is tell them they can't take it to school tomorrow because they're grounded from it. You might want to talk to Mr. Ragland on that one and, first. So I will be working with your kids throughout high school and different digital citizenship. I'm going to let Mrs. Pastrana just real quick tell you what they're doing right now at the middle school for digital citizenship for your students.
I'm Marcy Pastrana. I have all of your students in Spanish, but I'm also the digital citizenship coordinator. That's a new job that Mr. Ragland added this year. So I organize and plan a digital citizenship lesson that the students do every Thursday during our mod. And in case you're still not sure about what digital citizenship is, it's really just teaching manners and the proper etiquette for how to send emails, how to use anything on the internet, about posting pictures, anything like that. We talk a lot about their digital footprint, about cyberbullying, about their image that they're making for themselves online. And it's hard for them to really understand that and fully grasp the effect that that's going to have on them in the future. But that's something that we're working hard every week as a faculty to kind of impress upon them. So, and Mr. Evertson told me to tell you that if you have any extra questions about digital citizenship or anything else that we've talked about, you're more than welcome to stick around and talk to us after we wrap up.
Okay, last thing, I would like to just thank the parents and the students. So far, I told our students this, I think it's been a really good year. This is an awesome 8th grade class, a lot of great kids. We have a great school because of these kids, and I told them we can still make it better. I believe that. But thanks for sharing them with us because we enjoy them, and thanks for coming out. That's all we have. Here we go. Take your iPads with you. See you tomorrow.
actually, after about 2 days, it didn't really hurt anymore. It was the tendons. After it broke out the bone, it picked it up. It was a little tender, but I was, I mean, just a little straight. Muscle.
There's 16 people left.
Thanks for reminding me. These iPads tomorrow,
I tried hard to talk him into moving because
Dave? Are you bringing my computer? You want me to come get it?
Yeah, here, catch.
Yeah.
what's going on?
Hey, there's a camera case up here that's not already here.
No, all that I brought up there was my computer and my cord.
the little white cord
And the dongle.
and the power. Yep.
Can I
Oh
go
yeah, my
up
power
there?
cord.
I'm going up there.
No, you're not going up there.
Is this done?
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh, so here we can hear us go.
If your code up, Trav.